Goofy, unmatching socks, 2 watches, and a propensity to make noise are the characteristics by which to recognize Raj Kumar, MBA, NLP, MS, MD, JD candidate. He comes to us as an entrepreneur from the age of 24 who has had the privilege of studying at such institutions as the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Harvard Business School, and Washington University. He is an educator, motivational speaker, philanthropist, and entrepreneur with diversified ventures in the spaces of healthcare, real estate, humanitarianism, and investments. At a young age, he balanced the lifestyle stressor of abuse that he hopes to inspire others in his future book, The American Dream, Failure is Good, Its Pearls and Perils. After successfully starting and selling a primary care medical practice, he built a training and networking think tank with his loyal team of 32 physicians to aid healthcare professionals into entrepreneurship and humanitarianism through civic duty. If you want to build a legacy in your life, if you have been the forgotten, unsung hero they underestimated you, or you just don't have the answer, strap on some goofy superhero socks and walk into Raj's world to innovate your life with solutions, because not every superhero of medicine needs a cape.
One day, the angels of God assembled in the boardroom of God and spoke. God, why is it you favor all the humans? Are we too not your children? Yes, of course, God spoke. So I shall hold a grandiose tournament in your name. The first of you to circle the world 7 times shall forever have my undying love. In that moment, the angels of the sky soared through the clouds. The angels of the earth trekked across the soil. The angels of the oceans splashed about the waters. But there, in a small distant corner of the boardroom of God, was a young angel. She took to her feet, and she too began. 1 and 2 and 3 and 6 and 7. She encircled her parents, her village, her world. Why is it I've chosen to tell you this story today, my friends? It is a tale of how it takes a village to raise a child, but it is also a tale of how a child must come and bring that karma back to his village. Ergo, we begin a tale of a young boy, a young man, who went off to school with big dreams. Bright, motivated, charismatic, scholarships and fortitude at the hip, ready to conquer the world. But he found an unexpected dilemma on his travels. He was a little different. They didn't understand him. He was blamed for things he hadn't done. He was bullied. They gave him names. No one would sit next to him. They accused him of cheating and stealing and fraud and assault, despite making the marks at every corner. But he soldiered on. He soldiered on. As time passed, matters escalated. One day, there was a fellow at his doorstep with a baseball bat. Another night, someone broke into his apartment, and he in turn was stabbed. But he soldiered on. He soldiered on. He decided to leave school. He went back to his home, to the woman that he loved. But he came to find that their long-distance relationship had soiled. It had broken. She was in a place of anger and depression and suicide ideation. And sometimes he found bruises upon himself, even an arm sling. But he soldiered on. Despite the obstacles, he decided to go back to school. And there it was. After a long, hard night of study at the library, on his way back home, he was ambushed by 4 masks. They restrained him to the ground, muffled his voice, ripped the bag from his hand, and took the jeans off of his legs. And they penetrated him with a blunt, hard object that forever seared in his DNA. It was as if it was a sport for these aggressors. It's funny, even sometimes his own family and friends didn't truly appreciate the pain and trauma he had been subjugated to. Soldier on, young man. Attaboy. You're a man. You're tough. After 3 ER visits, 7 apartment relocations, living in his car, acquiring surveillance, police, an attorney, learning to mask himself, carry secrets, build mad connections, and literally train himself into being a soldier, he realized this was wrong. It wasn't his fault. He was worthy. He had to break the cycle. He had been trained to accept abuse. He had been taught that he was subhuman. But he decided to make a change. He stood tall. He faced his aggressors and decided that he is going to make a glorious path of karma. He finished his medical training, became a successful entrepreneur and physician, and created a physician group to this very day fights for those who are in need, who cannot carry themselves. And so he humbly stands before you tonight, sometimes a misunderstood fellow, but a better man, with a message, Even though there are those nights where tears touch his cheekbones as he argues with God, why me? I was always the good kid. This is not a message of despair and squalor, my friends. This is a message of hope and spirit I wish to send to you today. We need to band together. We need to find our circles. 1 and 2 and 3 and 6 and 7. We need to encircle our village at home. We need to stop this cycle of domestic abuse and sexual assault and reclaim our seat in the boardroom of God once more. And so I stand before each of you, and I wish you, as I do in my culture, namaste. I bow to the good in you. Rise up from silence. Love your struggle. Thank you.